9 Minutes with Syrone Campbell, Segment 13A, Belief. The segment on belief is going to be in 3 parts, 13A, B, and C. And it delves into the belief systems of current and former Christians and atheists. Because we live in a sophisticated society, if not behavior-wise, at least knowledge-wise, the level of challenge to beliefs will be matched by the level of cognition and available information to major players in academia, for example. Is it not fascinating that one of the leading voices for atheism, Professor Anthony Flew, has had his beliefs challenged and has publicly retracted a publicly held belief in atheism, from saying that evidence for God falls like a pack of cards, to saying in 2007 in an interview with Benjamin Weicker that his newly found belief was the result of his, quote, growing empathy with the insight of Einstein and other noted scientists, that there had to be an intelligence behind the integrated complexity of the physical universe, end quote, and has included a chapter about God in his book, whose title is My Discovery of the Divine. Then again, there are those who were believers who then converted to atheism. For example, Charles Darwin, Douglas Adams, author of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, because of their readjustment of their perceptions about the idea of God. Richard Dawkins, to be fair, seems to have converted from atheist to agnostic, but make no mistake, he is not a believer. He has been consistent in his view of available information, but perhaps now uses a more defensible position. It seems information is the driving force for the wax and wane, the hope and doubt of how the status quo is perceived. Some would say that Anthony Flew's turnabout is not important because in his new thinking, he has not proven that God exists. No, he did not, because he cannot. Proof of God is not the point with regard to Anthony Flew. It was not the point for the Nazarene either. The physical presence of Jesus was to awaken you to unseen reality, a monolith for your private proof. The point about Anthony Flew is that he changed his mind through cognition and contemplation. He realized the discovery through science that the complexity of the earliest organisms is beyond evolutionary probability. The complexity of the DNA of the original reproducing organism, for example. Even if you're inclined to grant the complexity case, that does not make you a Christian or a true believer in God. Some simply say this is less well understood in evolutionary terms and are scientific features of life to be later explained by science. This is a position that engages a negative hope from all information. I maintain that ultimately there will be a correct perception of all information that will challenge a candidate's belief to lead us to where we should be, to the only possible outcome: correct perception, correct practice, indwelling in the people that will inherit the earth. Thank you sincerely. You may reach me at syronecampbell.wordpress.com.